What if I told you that there's a single thought, just one specific shift in your awareness that could trigger your body's deepest healing mechanisms right now, in this very moment? I know that sounds almost too simple to be true, maybe even impossible. But stay with me here, because what you're about to discover might completely transform the way you understand your own physical reality. Right now, as you're reading these words, something extraordinary is happening inside you. Your body is conducting millions of repair operations that you're completely unaware of. Your cells are dividing and regenerating. Your immune system is scanning, identifying, and neutralizing threats. Your tissues are rebuilding themselves with remarkable precision. This isn't something that will happen tomorrow when you finally get the right treatment or find the perfect doctor. It's happening now, whether you believe it or not, whether you feel it or not. But here's where most people get stuck, and this is the hidden obstacle that might be preventing your complete healing. Has this ever happened to you? You wake up in the morning, and before you even open your eyes, you start scanning your body. You're searching for what hurts, cataloging the discomfort, mentally rehearsing your limitations, and then you do something that seems innocent but is actually incredibly powerful. You speak about yourself in a very specific way. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Now, back to that powerful thing you do every morning. You say things like, "I have chronic pain. I suffer from this condition. My body is failing me." The language seems descriptive, like you're just stating facts. But here's what modern science is now revealing, and this is where everything changes. Those words aren't just describing your reality. They're actively creating it. Every single time you identify with your illness, every time you claim it as your permanent identity, you're sending precise instructions to the trillions of cells in your body. And those cells, they're listening, they're responding, they're literally organizing themselves around the story you keep telling. What you're about to discover in the next few minutes will challenge everything you've been taught about the relationship between your thoughts and your physical body. Because the truth is, your body doesn't just hear what you say about it. Your body becomes what you consistently believe about it. The words you use aren't floating harmlessly in your mind. They're being translated into chemistry, encoded into your biology, and expressed through your physical symptoms. So the real question becomes this: what would happen if you changed that unthought? What would shift in your body if you stopped identifying as the sick person and started embodying something entirely different? Stay with me until the end, because the answer to this question is more profound than you might imagine, because the transformation you're seeking doesn't begin in your symptoms. It begins in a place most people completely overlook, and this is where the hidden truth behind your body's healing capacity reveals itself. Your heart. Not metaphorically, but literally, physiologically, your heart is the command center of your healing journey. Here's what most people don't know. Your heart contains approximately 40,000 specialized cells that function remarkably like brain cells. These cells think, they learn, they remember, and they do all of this independently of your cranial brain. This isn't spiritual poetry. This is measurable biological reality. And the impact of this discovery changes everything about how healing actually works. Your heart is in constant communication with your brain, but here's the revelation that shifts the entire paradigm. It's sending far more signals upward than your brain sends back down. When you generate genuine emotions in your heart, authentic gratitude, real compassion, deep appreciation, those feelings create signals that travel directly to your brain. Your brain then responds by releasing chemistry that mirrors the quality of those emotions. Positive, coherent, Emotions trigger hormones that strengthen your immune system, activate anti-aging mechanisms, and create the precise conditions your body needs for regeneration. But most people make a critical mistake in their healing journey, and this mistake keeps them trapped in the very cycle they're desperately trying to escape. They pray for healing, they ask for health, they plead for their bodies to get better. And every single time they do this, what are they actually declaring? Think about it for a moment. When you ask for healing, you're announcing to yourself, to your cells, to the universe itself that you are sick. You're affirming that health doesn't exist in your present moment. You're identifying with the illness rather than the wellness. If you're finding value in this approach to healing and self-awareness, hit that subscribe button. I'm creating content that bridges psychology, mindset, and the body's innate wisdom, and I'd love to have you on this journey with me. The secret to manifestation, and yes, healing is manifestation, isn't asking for what you want. It's feeling the feeling of already having it. This is how consciousness interacts with physical reality. Your cells don't respond to the circumstances you're observing with your eyes. They respond to the reality you're feeling in your heart. When you embody the state of already being healed, when you feel it with genuine emotion, not manufactured positivity, but authentic feeling, something extraordinary happens. Behind the scenes, your body begins receiving completely different instructions. The chemistry flooding your system changes. The signals your heart sends to your brain shift entirely. Now, I want to go even deeper into this transformation because understanding why this works unlocks something powerful in your own healing decisions. Most people are living from a state of lack, constantly focused on what's missing, what's broken, what needs to be fixed. But the journey toward true healing requires a fundamental shift in how you relate to your own body. Write in the comments, "My heart is leading my healing." This shift in perspective reveals something that Carl Jung spent his entire life exploring, and it's a truth that modern medicine is only beginning to acknowledge. Your unconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what you imagine and what is actually happening in physical reality. When you repeatedly tell yourself, "I am broken," when you rehearse your limitations every morning, when you identify as the person whose body has failed them, your subconscious doesn't question this narrative. It accepts it as an instruction manual. And your body, faithful and obedient, follows the blueprint you've provided. Your cells, your immune system, even the chemistry of your blood responds to the story you're feeding it. This is the hidden mechanism behind why some people seem to get better, while others with the same diagnosis remain stuck. It's not about willpower or positive thinking. It's about the fundamental relationship between your identity and your biology. Healing doesn't begin when the symptoms disappear. That's not the starting point. Healing begins the moment you stop identifying with the wound, the moment you shift from saying, "I am sick," to understanding, "My body is communicating with me." Has this ever happened to you? You wake up feeling relatively okay, but the moment you remember your diagnosis, your chronic condition, suddenly your body tightens. Your breathing becomes shallow. The symptoms intensify. This isn't coincidence. This is the power of identification revealing itself. The impact of recognizing this truth is enormous because it means you have agency in this process. You're not powerless. You're not a victim of random biology. You're an active participant in a conversation with your own body. But here's where most people take a wrong turn on their healing journey. They try to force their way to health. They demand that their body just get better already. They push, they criticize, they treat healing like a battle that needs to be won through sheer determination. And the body? It doesn't respond to force. It contracts, it protects, it remains in a state of defense. The revolutionary truth that changes everything is this: the body obeys the mind that loves, not the mind that pushes, not the mind that demands perfection. When you speak to yourself with genuine kindness, when you place your hand on the part of you that hurts and whisper, "I love you, thank you for carrying me through this," something extraordinary happens at the cellular level. Your organs literally soften. The chronic tension you've been carrying begins to release. Your immune system, which has been operating in survival mode, finally awakens to its true capacity. This is the transformation that happens behind the scenes when you make the decision to see yourself differently. Think back to a moment when you felt genuinely peaceful. Maybe you were watching sunlight filter through trees, or you heard laughter that made you forget yourself completely. In those moments, your body wasn't fighting. It was flowing. And here's what most people miss. Those moments weren't just pleasant experiences. They were medicine. Pure, potent medicine, triggering healing responses that no pharmaceutical can replicate. Put in the comments, "I choose love over force." The revelation that emerges from this understanding is something most people completely miss in their healing journey. We've been taught that healing takes years, that recovery is a long, arduous process requiring endless discipline and struggle. But some people heal in what appears to be an instant, not because their illness suddenly vanished into thin air, but because they made a radical decision. They chose peace now. Not peace when the test results come back clear. Not peace when the symptoms finally disappear. Not peace when the doctors give them good news. Peace now. If something in this video shifted your perspective, even just a little, let me know by hitting the like button. It helps me understand what's resonating and guides more people to these ideas. This immediate shift in your internal landscape creates an entirely different energetic state that your body mirrors. Because here's the truth that operates behind the scenes of every healing transformation. The outer world must follow the inner world. Your physical reality reflects what you're embodying internally. So, the question stops being, "When will I heal?" and becomes, "How can I love myself in this moment?" This shift might seem subtle, but the impact is profound. You're no longer waiting for external proof before you allow yourself to feel whole. You're claiming your wholeness now, regardless of what your circumstances appear to be showing you. But there's something even deeper here that needs to be understood about your relationship with your body. Most people have been conditioned to see their body as a broken machine that needs fixing, as an enemy that betrayed them, as something that's working against them. And this perspective is exactly what keeps them trapped in the cycle of illness. Your body isn't your enemy. It's not a malfunctioning system that randomly decided to cause you pain. Your body is a faithful companion that has been carrying the weight of your fears, your stress, your unprocessed emotions with remarkable devotion. Think about this for a moment. Every single day, your body has been doing its absolute best to keep you alive, to keep you moving, to communicate what it needs. When your body hurts, it's not attacking you. It's speaking to you. When it tightens, it's not betraying you. It's calling for comfort, not criticism. It's asking for your attention, your care, your partnership in this journey. And here's the proof that your essence is so much greater than any diagnosis or label you've been given. Those rare moments when you completely forget about your illness. Maybe you were laughing so hard, your stomach hurt for a different reason. Maybe you witnessed something so beautiful it took your breath away. Maybe you felt so loved, so connected, that your symptoms simply faded into the background. In those precious moments, you weren't holding the identity of the wounded one. You weren't rehearsing your limitations. You were simply being. And those moments reveal the truth about who you really are beneath all the stories, all the labels, all the fear. Right. In the comments, "My body is my partner." This understanding opens up an entirely different pathway forward, one that doesn't require you to manufacture belief out of thin air or force yourself to feel healed when doubt is still whispering in your mind. What's actually needed is something far more accessible, something you already have available to you right now. Willingness. Just willingness. Not certainty, not unwavering faith, not absolute conviction. Simply willingness to see yourself as whole, to remember that wholeness exists within you, to live as though healing is genuinely possible. This subtle shift in mindset changes everything because willingness doesn't demand proof before it moves. It doesn't wait for external validation. It simply says, perhaps I am not as broken as I believed. It whispers, maybe there is more strength in me than I've been seeing. This small opening, this gentle willingness, begins a quiet transformation that happens beneath the surface of your conscious awareness. When you plant seeds in soil, you don't see the intricate work happening underground, the roots spreading, the nutrients being absorbed, the foundation being established. But the work is happening. Gentle affirmations spoken with genuine willingness, rather than desperate hoping plant seeds in your subconscious that create new neural pathways, new chemical responses, new patterns of being, long before you see any visible signs of change. And here's where the practical application of this revelation becomes clear. Living as your healed self doesn't require grand gestures or dramatic lifestyle overhauls that you'll abandon in 3 weeks. The transformation begins with the smallest decisions, the quietest moments that most people dismiss as insignificant. Stretching slowly when you wake up instead of bracing against the day. Allowing morning air to reach your chest before you immediately pick up your phone. Letting sunlight touch your face for just 30 seconds and actually feeling it on your skin. These aren't trivial actions. They're quiet declarations of life, subtle announcements to your nervous system that you're safe, that you're choosing differently today. When you prepare your clothes for the day, choose comfort over obligation. When you eat, take one conscious breath and bless your food, acknowledging it as nourishment rather than just fuel. When you walk, even if it's just from one room to another, lift your chin slightly and let your arms swing naturally. These micro adjustments in how you move through your day are reprogramming your entire system. Each loving thought is surgery without pain. Each gentle decision is medicine without side effects. The impact accumulates in ways you can't measure immediately, but you absolutely can feel over time. Because what's happening behind the scenes of these seemingly simple practices is profound. You're teaching your body a new language, creating new defaults, establishing new patterns that your system begins to recognize and trust. Put in the comments, small steps, big shifts. If you made it all the way here, I want you to know that says something important about you. You're not just passively consuming content. You're actively choosing to invest in your own transformation, to question the narratives you've been living under, to explore what becomes possible when you shift your relationship with your body and your healing journey. This channel exists because these conversations matter. Because someone needs to be talking about the intersection of mind, body, and the unconscious patterns that shape our health in ways conventional approaches often miss. If this resonated with you, if something shifted even slightly while you were watching, I'd genuinely love to have you subscribe. There's so much more we're going to explore together, and I don't want you to miss what's coming next. And leave me a comment saying, this message was meant for me, so I know you were here, so I know this landed with someone who needed to hear it today. Your engagement genuinely helps these ideas reach others who are searching for a different way forward. If this video served you in some way, go ahead and hit that like button. Not because I'm asking you to, but because it helps other people who are struggling with the same questions find their way here. That simple click creates a ripple effect you might not see, but it matters. There's a video right here that goes even deeper into how your daily habits are either supporting or sabotaging your body's natural healing intelligence. It's the perfect next step in this journey. Click and continue with me over there. I'll see you in a moment.